Hi all, welcome to another Dave Downey Fly Tying video production. Sorry I've not been around guys, it's been 9 months since I've done my last video. I've been dealing with some real life stuff and I've also been dealing with minor health issues. Not COVID thankfully, but other bits and pieces, and I'm getting there. So I've been trying to get back to doing the videos for a while, and I've been trying to get my attic sorted out so I can get my studio done. I'm getting there, it's almost there. So hopefully we're going to get there in the end. So this is the first video I've done in 9 months, so I'm going to be a bit rusty, so bear with me. So today I'm going to tie just a little snatcher. It's a nice little snatcher. It's a mixture of old and new materials, and I'm going to tie it on a barbless hook as well. So for this fly in particular you're going to need some barbless grub hooks. Right, I'm using the fully mill one. I've actually got some nice Hackle hooks that I just got that I'll start tying some flies with as well, but for the time being I'm going to tie it on this fully mill hook, which is a really nice grub hook. It's called Grub. There is a grub hook which is a stronger wire, but I like tying the snatchers on the Czech Nymph hook, which is a bit thinner wired, because snatchers should be kind of lightweight. I'm going to need some Glo-Brite number 11 floss, and I've spooled it up because it's easier to put on the hook. I'm going to use my favourite shear 14-0 thread as always, because it allows me to make mistakes if you like and not build up a stupid big head on the fly. We're going to need some mini Frazzle Fritz. This is black, so we're going to need some of that. We're going to need some Venairds wire or silver wire, but I like the Venairds stuff because it's quite thin and it does keep its colour quite well. We're also going to need 2 hackles. Now you can tie it without the body hackle, but I'm going to tie it with the body hackle, so I'm using red game for the head hackle, right? And I'm going to stipulate again that I think buying cheap and nasty capes, you don't really get a lot out of them. Because if you look at this feather, so that feather, look at the length of it, it's some 12 inches long. So that'll tie, just if I'm using it just for a head hackle, I'll get maybe 15, 20 flies out of that. If I'm using it as a palmered hackle, I'm only going to get maybe 4, but you know, it's uniform. The best way to buy these capes is to buy them with a friend, split them down the middle, because a half a cape will last you forever. And we're going to use black for the body hackle, same again, big long hackle. And the last thing, which is optional, is jungle cock. Now getting a decent jungle cock cape is quite hard nowadays. There is a place up in Angus called, it's Neil Anderson, so Angus Angling it's called, and Neil's quite good. You know, some of the jungle cock capes he gets are pretty decent and they're reasonably priced as well. I started with a thread. I told you I'm going to be rusty guys, sorry, but I should be starting with the floss. So we're going to start with the floss because we're going to give the fly a little green butt. So as I say, it's just a Cape McLaren, but a modern version Cape McLaren Snatcher. So we're just going to run the floss down. I hope you're all getting over the COVID, and I hope if you got it, you're alright. If you never got it and you've had your vaccinations, try not to get it. Right, so we'll just tie that off. That's why I've got it on this. You could take a bit off and just wind it on, but it's much easier on a bobbin, to be honest. Then we're going to take our black thread and we'll start getting down the body. As I say, I've tried to get back into fishing this year as well. Been doing a bit, but not out as much, because it's still, the COVID threat's still quite there. Hopefully we'll get to start travelling again, we'll get to go to different places. This is a great fly for the likes of Loch Leven for wild brown trouts. It'll work for the rainbows as well, but for your wild fish, like up Niley and things like that as well, Orkney, it all works. Now the mini Frazzle is like a hackle, it's got a natural direction, so always look for that direction. If it's not apparent, sometimes it can be pointing different directions. Just give it a rub and it will fall into place quite easily. So we'll tie in the mini Frazzle next. as I say, you don't have to put a body hackle on this. The mini Frazzle will work on its own. And we'll just take the thread back up. I've actually been really looking forward to try to get back to doing videos, to be quite honest. Getting these Velox windows in is eventually has helped, but that's another story. So we're just going to, as we're going up, the core of the Fritz is basically going to be the body of the fly, and we're just going to pull that back. The mini Frazzle's got UV through it. You don't really see it until it's actually wet, and it looks better in real life than it does on the video. It just looks clear on the video, but it's not clear, I can assure you. So we'll just keep going. I hope you've been out fishing. I've been on Loch Leven a few times, been on the river, but with this latest heat wave we really need a lot of rain for the river, to be quite honest. Right, so that little bit kind of got stuck there. I trapped it and I didn't want to trap it, so just lift it back off and go again. Just make sure you're pulling all the fibres so they're not getting trapped. So you let that trapped again, and then in. You always want to leave 3 or 4mm at the eye, because you remember you've got 2 hackles to get, and then you've got a set of jungle cock eyes if you decide. You could use Goose Biots as well if you don't want to use jungle cock, and I know jungle cock's not the cheapest. So we're going to go with the black hackle next. That's going to be our body hackle. Right. Let's just catch that in if it wants to be caught in. That's the great thing about this 14-0 thread. You can wind and wind and wind and it doesn't really do anything, but I'm going to take it back off again because this hackle's refusing to get caught. Right, it's in now. So, same with the hackle, it's obviously got a natural direction. That's the wrong direction, it's pointing forward. So I need to take it back. You can sometimes pull it round to the correct direction, but this one doesn't want to go, so I'm going to take it off and I'm going to cut it. Now I now know what direction it is, so we'll catch it back in again. So all I've done was cut a little bit off, because sometimes the stock, it doesn't matter what you do, it just doesn't want to go. So I'm just pushing that in. Right, get it in there. That'll be enough. We could go one more actually. We'll go one more. Right. And then we'll catch, and we'll, same again, you go in the opposite direction, just run the silver wire up. And then I always like to twist with my index finger and my thumb and sort of mould the hackle back into shape. Just give the wire a little shake and it'll come off. And then I'll just trim that hackle. Alright, so there we go. Now at this point normally I would do a little whip finish, because the last thing I want is the hackle going brrr. So we'll get a little whip finish in there. And then we get our red game hackle. As I said, I'm using a genetic one. The head hackle doesn't really matter so much because you're only doing a couple of turns, but the body hackle you want it kind of uniform, same length the whole way. So I'll get that in there, pull it back, and that's enough. If you want it for a bigger wave, then maybe yeah, I'll put a couple more turns in, but for me that's plenty. Right, once again, just to be safe, that whip finish. Now you could leave the fly like that if you wanted, but we will put some jungle cock on it. Now normally I would split the jungle cock, but I actually need to get some new capes myself, because a lot of the ones that I've got left have got not a lot of feathers on them. I think I've got about 15 jungle cock capes and they're all kind of all salmon size now. So I've taken all the flue off. I'm just going to line that up. Now you can see there's a little black bit in the middle, so that's the bit you want to be tying in, and making sure the coloured part of the jungle cock is facing you. Tie that one in, oops, and just trim that off. Then we'll do the other side. Right, take that bit off. Set that in. So once it's in place, catch it left hand or right hand, depending what, if you're right or left handed. Tie it in, and then all you do is use a thread to tidy the rest of the head up. And then 1, 2, 3, tie off. Just make sure that there's a couple of little stray hackle fibres there, so I just grabbed them, pulled them back and locked them down again with a thread, and then just, there you go. So as I says, it's a little green button Frazzle, so it's a modern concoction mixed with natural materials, so you've got synthetic and natural in there, and it looks great and it works. Do that, and what we want to do is get a little bit of wire wherever that's disappeared to. A bit of silver wire's just disappeared. It's funny how the materials do that. There it is there. Maybe it's just my eyesight's getting worse. And then just clean the eye out. Okay. And there you go. It's my first fly in 9 months that I've done on the video. So I did miss you guys. I'm hoping to get this going a lot better. I want to get more subscribers. So if you liked the video, give it a wee like and a thumbs up, and subscribe up if you've not already subscribed. It's all appreciated. And I'll try and get more videos out on a weekly basis now that I've kind of got my studio set up, and it's, you know, I'm not having to put it together every single time I want to do a video. It's going to be set. I should be able to come in and just do videos on a regular basis. So if there's anything you want me to do, then just give me a shout and I will do some review videos and a few other things. So take care. Remember to have a wee like or an unlike, whatever, depending, and subscribe up, and go and have a wee look at the website. All the materials and the flies are available on www.fly-fishingworld.com. You can get me on my Facebook, which is David C. Downey, and you can get me on my Instagram, which is where I kind of put pictures of all the fish that I catch and things like that when I'm guiding. That's Dave Downey Fly Fishing. So take care. Hopefully you're all safe, and hopefully you're all getting to go out and do a bit of fishing. And don't forget, if you're catching fish on the flies that I'm tying, please let me know. Okay, bye for now.